E-Rich, would you like to sing that again?
Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump.
Where did you find that? Because I know a lot of different liberal people have been sharing it lately. I found it through John Oliver. Where did you see it?
I saw it like almost the minute it got posted on X, the Everything app, by Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so John Oliver was talking about the Trump post, so you just saw the original article right there.
Yeah, the OG.
Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump.
That's the only part I like. The rest of it is kind of terrible.
I like it when the lady's like, economy.
We don't like the fake news.
Yeah, I don't believe in fake news. Hey, everybody, welcome to part 2 of the Is It Kino 2014 election special. Last week, we sat down and learned about Trump's backstory and watched him rape a woman. And this week, we are here to vindicate him. So,
wow.
Yep, we got together before the election, released that episode on election day, and we made a little bit of a bet. Who's going to win? Aggie, who is right here. We did not introduce him yet. I'm Simian Jimmy, joined as always by the man who won the bet, Aggie Eggman Rodriguez.
Fuck. I forgot about that.
Yo. Okay, that's right. And matter of fact, I even won again. I used a Mexican VPN to bet crypto that was given to me on another website, and that bet also cashed. But it just takes a few days for it to clear. But
so how much free money are you getting from the Trump bet?
127 United States dollars.
Wow.
Economy.
That's equivalent to about a million pesos?
There was a guy, because there was like in the chat, there was like a chat on the page this morning. There was a guy who bet 50,000, and he just was like just doing like a victory lap in the comments about he like got an extra 50% or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who XQC is, but I saw he lost $700,000 betting on Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of people who bet on Kamala and came up short, we're also joined by E-Rich McCoy.
Look, sometimes it's just not in the cards. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run, and I'm running.
Biden knew when to walk away. Kamala should have known not to run.
Yeah.
Well, should we cover this now?
Imagine how good Joe Biden was sleeping last night.
Aggie, should we cover now? You won the bet, and the bet was whoever picks the president gets to pick a movie that we 3 review, probably coming up in December. So you can torture E-Rich and me with any movie ever made, Aggie.
Well, there's a lot that I could think of, and I'm not even going to go for the low-hanging fruit, but there's been some of this hood cinema that we all know and love, but the polls are coming up short, just like the polls for the freedom and democracy of this country. Now we got to cheat them, but I think that I can put something together that is both maybe a little bit different outside of the typical sensibilities of the films we've been reviewing, maybe a little more street perhaps, but at the same time, something that is not from Tubi. It's going to be critically at least not terrible to some degree, something that we could maybe enjoy actually watching. So I'm going to have to I remember there was a bet. I don't even remember who I bet on, but
probably Trump.
It would make sense, but I feel like there was another bet I took somewhere recently where I went for the underdog position, but I'm not going to lie. I think I went to bed, or I think I ended the stream at like 5 a.m. last night, and I didn't do much sleeping, so my brain might be a little scuffled on certain finer points, but...
Well, thankfully, you don't need too much of a plugged-in brain to help vindicate Trump, as Dinesh D'Souza did in this film. But is this your long-winded way of saying you are choosing Boys in the Hood since it lost the PCP poll, or did you have some other gangster cinema in mind?
Well, you know what? Let's just go for Boys and the Hood. Sounds good to me.
Cool.
Golf clap, E-Rich?
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that, so.
I finally watched Jesus Christ Superstar because I saw you reviewed it recently, E-Rich.
Yeah.
Wow, what a powerful cinematic experience.
Wild movie.
I loved it. I keep listening to the overture song at the beginning, and then A Judas' song at the beginning, just both of them back to back over and over again. They're so good.
Hell yeah. Every Judas song slaps so fucking hard.
Yeah, I think Judas was right after seeing that movie. Like, he made so many good points. Like, yeah, Jesus, you're getting too big, dude. Calm it down. And who's this whore you're hanging out with? See, what a classic tale. Two good friends, a fucking woman gets wedged between them, ruins the friendship, many such cases.
You're bringing the reputation of the whole squad down, dude. You're fucking hanging out with whores.
This bitch has the same name as your mom? That's kind of creepy. What is happening?
What kind of weird complex you got, Jesus?
Yeah, weird fucking mommy fetish from Jesus. You'd think he'd have daddy issues. Aggie, have you seen this film?
I believe I was in the presence of theater kids who were watching it maybe 17 years ago.
Oh, Rich, am I going to be embarrassed for liking this movie publicly now? Is this like a theater kid movie?
Yeah, I mean, almost every musical is theater kid.
I thought this was one of the good ones.
I would say
also
this.
Is, but
the theater kids, it was the same group. They were also very fond of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah. Mm.
I've not seen that one yet.
Really?
Really. But, you know what I have seen is Dinesh D'Souza's, I would say, a film that has changed American history because it came out in theaters and it's now available for free on YouTube. When I watched it, I think it had almost 300,000 views. So it certainly could have changed the course of this election. It's a film that 100% vindicates Trump from all of the fake news media through some satiric dramatizations of the election of Trump from the perspective of the big news media and all the tools and tricks they tried to pull to fuck him over and how they're seething and coping and the cool black guy who works at the DNC, he thinks Trump's cool, but all the shrill lesbians at the DNC think he's a horrible freak.
There's always a brother that understands what's really going on.
Yeah, New Norm has his friend. Mr. Bertram has his friend.
So I want to get off the very top here. I want to say I fucking hate Dinesh D'Souza so much. However, I gotta give him my respect for putting this entire movie free on YouTube.
Yeah, that is
just
cool.
Because the fact that I don't have to go to 1, 2, 3 movies and watch the slot slates versions, which I would have had fun with, but it's annoying to do.
Aggie and I almost spent money to see this in theaters, and thankfully I was too sleepy that day, and now I got it for free.
That's right. Do you think it would have improved the experience to have seen it with an audience? Assuming the audience is more than like two other people.
Yeah, we live in Ames, college town. We would have been the only people there.
Yeah.
I think when I saw Dinesh's Trump card movie when I lived in North Carolina, which just overwhelmingly voted for Trump, unlike Iowa, which went blue, as E-Rich predicted. But even when I saw that one, I think I was the only one in the theater. I'll have to listen to our old review and see if I said, if anybody
I
was
think
there.
I saw Obama's America. It was like 2016 Obama's America or something.
Which evidently is the most successful political movie of all time, and is how he can afford to do this. Although I guess he has like a best-selling book every single year as well. Right, so this dude's rich.
He is constantly talking about his previous movie, and it's something I've never heard of. So like in this movie, he's like, in my previous book, 2000 Mules, I exposed the ballot. Yeah,
if I recall, that's his directly preceding film. I think that was like around 2022, and it is about what he covers the same shit again here, which is how the election was stolen. And honestly,
once again, mad respect, because I would also reuse portions of my previous work.
Well, I think he's just like actually showing it in action. He hires the private investigators, which this is probably all fake as fuck for the movie, but who knows? But he does show how you would cheat the ballots, and he shows step by step exactly how to do it, which is very suspicious considering this was released for free on YouTube weeks before this election. You know, it's like when Nathan Fielder was begging, like, how do I hack the Emmys to get nominated?
Right. I do want to share something. My local area actually found some voter fraud happening. It was a big to do about a week or two before the election was held, and they did not say which party it was, which leads me to believe that it was the Republicans because my county is very heavily Republican. And yeah, I think they tried to like pass over a bunch of fake ballots as real. And it was found out because guess what? They're checking that shit constantly. It is not as easy to fool some of these electoral groups as Dinesh D'Souza would have you think. So, yeah, I thought that was incredibly funny, and I think it's very possible that was done because this movie came out.
Well, should we, from top of memory, us three try to dissect exactly how you steal an election? Because step one is that the ballot papers that everybody votes with, you can just buy a blank copy of them by the thousands and then print off your local ballot information onto them, which does seem a little bit crazy.
That's freely available on the website of each
there's like a PDF
district,
of each
right?
Each election. Aggie, so far so good. Do you think people should be legally allowed to buy blank official ballot paper?
Well, when I was doing a live election coverage last night, I told people, and this was something I took from the film, I said, go and see if people in ski masks are dropping huge burlap sacks of pre-filled votes outside of your local electoral station, because I think that's what they say, like that I accidentally dropped a backpack full of pre-filled out ballots, like in the polling.
If you find a box of ballots underneath a table at the polling place, just start counting them. Like, I guess somebody put them under this table.
As we all know, those pesky Dems, they got away with it yet again this time because Kamala Harris obviously won this big election. Well,
now we are recording this on November 6th, so the final tally of votes has not been calculated yet. Maybe California has 9 million more votes that have not come in. But have you been seeing this? The total number of votes in the recent elections. 2020, for some reason, there's 15 million more votes than 2016 or this year. Like 15 million people just randomly showed up and then evaporated.
I think it's just people not voting. Like
they were really passionate about old man Biden, but this time around, fuck it.
Yeah, I think
by the
Kamala Harris is not a super encouraging candidate for a lot of people.
Or, Dinesh D'Souza says, hey, you can pay money to see a list of all registered voters who have not voted recently. You could fill out all these ballots that you printed off with their name on it and submit it, and when they check it, they'll believe it. Did that happen 15 million times?
I think it would actually be more funny if 15 million people just didn't want to vote for a woman, so they all just stayed home.
That's what happened to Hillary, right? Even though she got the popular vote by a little bit, but Trump's only been beating women.
Yeah, we're looking at 2016 to 2024, and all I'm going to say is this. It's actually pretty crazy, but, in the lens that I look at things, because I'm so tuned into this sort of social media kind of lens for a lot of things, but you go on the street and you ask 100 people, there's probably a lot of those people would say, yeah, I just don't think a woman can get the job done. It is what it is. And they would probably, I think it's more common than people might believe. That's how I feel about it. But also at the same time, I do think there was fishy business. We've all seen the meme with Trump's hairline where it's like the blue and red where like the huge leap comes out of nowhere. So that's a little suspicious, but I think it's funny both ways, but it is what it is.
There was a spike in Google search data where people did not realize that Biden had dropped out yet. Right before the election, which is insane.
Should people need to prove they are politically literate and educated before they can vote? Are we cool that people who think Biden's running have the same rights as us?
You should probably create a stratified voting class.
Yeah, you have to take a test to prove you actually know who the candidates are and all their issues. Make sure you're actually educated. If you pass, your vote is worth 3. Everybody else can vote, they're only worth 1. Is that fair? Like a weighted vote based on how educated you are?
I would imagine probably about 80% of the country would no longer be voting. Just because
they would get their 1 point.
Well, they probably wouldn't even care enough to like, oh, I gotta do something with paper. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna go watch TV.
I gotta prove I know what I'm voting for. Fuck it. Oh, well, I guess I'd be the only vote. And we'd have Jill Stein in the White House. It's her turn.
Zionist Jill Stein.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm glad that Israel won the election, either way.
That's right.
Should we dive into anything from this movie, other than how to steal the ballots and all that? What'd you guys think of these dramatizations where he gets actors and wrote a script about how they're going to fuck over Trump?
I think it is pretty entertaining. It's pretty funny. Like, just that it's like essentially right-wing fanfic as to what the news media is up to. I really like the older newsman and the younger newsman who just stand there watching Trump saying shit and then start to riff on how they're possibly going to cover it.
Yeah, there's lots of funny lines he throws in. I think Paul Ryan says Jeb Bush is going to eat him alive. So, truly political satire of the highest quality, bringing in Jeb again. We all miss Jeb.
Jeb, always good for a laugh.
What I think they could have done, maybe it would be a little too spicy, but I'm just going to tell it like it is. 2016, which is what this dramatization is involved with at first. J.D. Vance, he did not like Trump in 2016. I think maybe if they wanted to break out of the box a little bit, they could have had like a J.D. Vance, maybe he believes the fake news, but he comes around just like that base black brother that's a DNC, but he really likes Trump on low.
So you're saying they could have had a character arc for him within the movie. Yeah,
because it was fine. Yeah, I felt like it was pretty standard. Look, I am silly, like, hello everybody, I'm a buzzword Democrat, and here we need to cover everything up in a cartoonish leave-away, which I'm not saying that it wasn't accurate, but, it was not particularly engaging. Entertaining, yes, but, it kind of was just there to move the plot along with some silliness.
The TV exec, when Trump's announcing he's running for president, he's calling the cameraman on the walkie-talkie, and he's like, hey, don't zoom out to show how big the crowd is. You guys didn't crack up laughing at that one?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
A lot of these I'm just like, oh, you.
You gave this great film half of a star when you admit you were entertained and laughing your ass off, Rich. I don't know. Is it fair? Is that only half a star worth of entertainment?
I was largely laughing at the movie rather than with it. So.
What did you think Trump was vindicated by the end? I guess, Rich. That's the main goal of the film, is to convert people like you. It's not just to preach to the movie. They're not trying to preach to a choir. They're trying to convince people on the other side to vindicate Trump. Did it work?
Yeah. So Dinesh is putting together a bulletproof thesis as to why Trump is right and good and should be embraced by the American public.
Yeah.
Did it work on me? No.
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 Dinesh interviews Trump in the movie, and Trump says, did you ever meet a woke person that was happy? There's no such thing.
I've met
Was he holding up a mirror to you, and maybe that's why you didn't feel like he was vindicated?
I did see the laptop screen reflected in my face, and I started to look at my own reflection.
The black mirror. You saw that scowl on your face and realized the woke mind virus has taken away your happiness.
It has.
It's too bad. You know what's really too bad is that we didn't have Florian here to see this movie, because I think it might have convinced him. This might have been what it took to get him on Trump's side.
No longer believing that the tank was worthwhile.
Okay, what do you think about this quote from Dinesh? No president has been so beloved and hated since Lincoln. Is Trump as polarizing as Lincoln? Both got shot in the head.
Civil War fought over the things he did.
We got 4 years now.
Hey, yeah, we might have a civil war coming up. You don't know.
No, Dems are pussies. What the fuck are you talking about?
As Dinesh was making all these Lincoln comparisons, I think the greatest thing I've seen in cinema, it happens in the film, where this sort of metamorphosis of Lincoln's face into Trump's face happens. It's like
he does that a lot in the other one. Yeah.
The Animorphs.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, this Lincoln guy, he has this giant statue of himself. It's like 100 feet tall, sitting in a giant chair. I think if Trump is really the new Lincoln, he should build one of those and have it really in a big public area, make it like a crime to even, throw any kind of garbage at it or anything. If he's going to be real Lincoln, like they're saying he is, it's time to link in to following the game plan.
Well, maybe
build a big Trump tower, like right next to some of the greatest monuments.
I was thinking we turn the Lincoln Memorial into the next Mount Rushmore, and Trump builds himself sitting right next to Lincoln, and then it's like any future men who are as good as these two can also sit in the chamber with them.
Mm-hmm. And he's taller than Lincoln.
Well, of course. And like he's wearing the MAGA hat instead of the top hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be good. Do we think Trump will get a statue in Washington, D.C. after he fixes all the corruption and violence from Biden's era?
It'll be like a drained swamp. Like, it will be a, completely immaculate looking... Like, what would a drained swamp even look like, is my question.
No more homeless.
Oh, no more homeless people.
He's going to kill them.
Yeah, round them up.
Light them up.
Listen, with all the money that we've been spending on these migrants coming across the border, we could take all the homeless, we could put them in a beautiful place. It's going to be the best place. I've never seen the homeless treated so good. Sleepy Joe couldn't do it, but I'm going to do it within a week.
I'm interested to see how quickly they get Heartsy, because I think he's legal, but I think there's the line isn't so porous that you can't just grab a couple of them too, right?
What do you mean we need to get Heartsy? Like to see if he's a Trumper?
No, to deport him.
Oh, well, yeah, he's Hispanic, so he's probably fucked, but...
Yeah, I'm hearing this morning that 54% of Hispanic votes were for Donald Trump. It's the largest amount I think that the Republicans have had.
Do we think it was just the Hispanic men?
Well, I think from my understanding, there was like a CNN segment. I've only caught the headlines of it, so maybe I was lied to by a clickbait or whatever, but they basically said that Hispanic men and black men are sexist. That's why they didn't vote for Kamala, and that was what they were saying.
That might explain the 15 million missing votes. Honestly, I could see
Probably.
that being like the percentage of people who just won't vote for a woman. Yeah, why not?
One of the things that shocked me was the amount of Native American votes that Trump got.
Well, they love casinos, E-Rich.
I guess they love casinos, and maybe they think Trump is one of them.
Because he's got some skin condition going on. He's not a white man, and they hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, more great quotes that I wrote down. Trump is a threat to the left, just like Lincoln was a threat to the slave-owning class.
Oh, wow. He really does just launder a lot of the same things that he always talks about in the next movie.
Yeah, he's made 4 movies comparing Trump to Lincoln. It's all he fucking talks about.
Yeah.
I'll say this also, now that I guess I thought about it a little bit. I suppose the way that the corruption is exposed in this film with these comedic bits, it's probably a better path. It doesn't necessarily land for me, but I think compared to certain people that are very dialed in, like you're talking about, people who need to understand the vindication, they're very dialed into where if we start dropping infographics with, like shocking, controversial text and this is what they did and all this like a fear-inspiring, fear-mongering kind of energy, I think people are already tuned in and receptive to that, to where they're going to block that out. They've seen this before. And so I'm just going to automatically, no thank you. But the way that this is a little more comedically presented, maybe it might putting the guard down, and they're willing to maybe let a couple of these ideas come into their mind. Think about it. I guess when I was younger in my college years, and I was something of a Democrat, I was more like an independent, but I was raised Democrat. There were certain things that if I heard it, had a mental block sort of installed, like, oh, that's what that is. Yeah, I'm waving that off. But there were some of these different avenues, and I think comedy played a big part in that, or certain memes and things in these formative years, the early 2010s, that got me kind of thinking about different things, jogged my noggin a little bit. and turn me into a real Cheeto head eventually.
Yeah, that's why
a real Chester.
I was watching the Colbert Report, and it made me a Republican because he showed how silly and wacky those Democrats are. Am I right, folks? What a great show that was.
That's right.
Well,
Only George W. was here now, but he's painting those beautiful pictures. I think maybe I'll buy one and hang it on my wall.
how did the non-satiric Colbert respond to the news? Did anybody check on him?
He probably wept like tears.
Literally crying on stage during the live show. Jon Stewart was okay. He's like, yeah, we'll probably be fine. I'm rich. Like, he did not seem too concerned for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's somewhat lessened because 2016 was the big shock moment.
I've seen some people voting, like, which one was, I guess, from the perspective of Trump fans, which moment was greater, 2016 or 2024? And I saw overwhelming saying this is better.
I don't know, because, like, the Hill Dog, for me, the Hill Dog factor of, like, people being all in on her being the first woman president, they really underplayed the woman president angle for Kamala. So it was such a, like, defeat for some dumb people when Hillary lost.
I
don't
think
think you'll have people in the street shouting like that woman. That's
do you think the Democrats will do an insurrection? Because Kamala has to certify her own loss, and maybe she doesn't want to sign that paper.
Now that's funny.
Is it? I mean, that's got to
sting. She has to sign her own loss. Yeah.
So no insurrection from the Democrats.
It's
says
way funnier. It's way funnier than her having to sign her own win.
Well, yeah.
Which would have happened otherwise.
I mean, that would have the DEI haters really angry if she has to sign herself to become president.
Yeah.
I'll say this.
Okay.
There was, rumors floating about on some image boards this morning or whatever it was. I woke up and never really slept that much to begin with, but they said she could invoke the 25th Amendment. Listen, they say Sleepy Joe, he wasn't good enough to run. He's not good enough to lead. So then she could be in control until inauguration
she could become
day.
The president.
Be like the new in charge, or like the, what do they call that? The leading, or the whatever it is, acting president. Yeah. So she could be the acting president for 2 months.
So then Trump will be 48 instead of 47.
Well, we got you son of a bitch. All your fucking
merch is ruined.
Is now useless.
And that would be kind of a funny on. I'm not gonna lie. Even if she didn't do anything further besides just like in name only, just become the acting president because of Biden's inability to lead. You support President Kamala, I see. Yeah, with your 47 merch. Or she could, enact, like Alex Jones said, the vaccine checkpoints, start enacting the 5G nanobots that have been put in our food and water, flip the switch. We're all going to start like floating through the air. Our brains are going to be completely scrubbed with magnetic fields. Anything could really happen, but I guess that's neither here nor there right now. It seems like at the moment it's going to go off without a hitch, but we've had some hitches this year, so it's hard to say.
Trump could still get killed in the next 2 months.
Well, I was going to say, there's already been 2 possible attempts on his life. Do you think we're going to go for 3?
Well, I think it's going to be like every 4 months until he's out of office. I think JD Vance will be president before 2024 or 2028.
I agree. I think he's dying 2 to 3 years into
whether it's from being an old man or from being a shop man, but
I think it's from being incredibly unhealthy, but we'll see.
His doctor said he's the healthiest man who ever lived, D-Rich.
His doctor would, yeah.
I think we've honestly covered everything from this movie. Like, it was extremely long, and there's so little to it.
It's extremely long? I thought it was like an hour.
Oh my god, it felt forever. I thought it would never end. About
half the footage is Dinesh D'Souza nodding vigorously at everything that anyone is telling him.
Uh-huh.
It's very funny to watch.
He's an enthusiastic little man with something's going on with his lips and chin, but I can't really define it.
Mm-hmm.
But he likes putting himself on the big screen, so good for him.
Yeah. He's a more successful filmmaker than. He has more films than Who? Robert Eggers.
Every female director in history.
Yeah, except for Sofia Coppola.
Has she had more success than him? He has the most
Who
successful political movie in history.
Michael Moore. He's probably more successful than Michael Moore.
Well, he has a movie called Sicko. Michael Moore has that movie, and frankly, I hate sickos even more than I love being vindicated. So,
Yeah, Egg, I'll ask you. E-Rich said Trump's not vindicated from the film. What do you think? Was Trump vindicated here?
Well, I've always been, well, I should say always, but probably from early 2018 forward, I did give Mr. Trump a bit of extra criticism, I think. I don't know, I feel like because he kind of seemed like he was going to do certain things and he wasn't always delivering. But what I can say is, I don't know if this interference on behalf of the political operatives in the Democratic Party really played out the way that they say it did. Because he was just at this dinner with Chuck Schumer and all the Democrats, and they're all shaking each other's hands and giving each other hugs and all this stuff. I feel like sometimes it's a little theatrical, and there's maybe a singular group behind the scenes outside of the political theater that might be unified. But with that being said, when we're talking about the news and the journalists and these people, the fake news media, they do more than just politics, and you're able to follow them and see them doing other nefarious things and making other lies, twisting other things for their own benefit. So these are not good people. And I think that with that being said, I think he was definitely vindicated about how he was being treated by these people. I think 2015, in that era, that was where I've seen the nastiest, most vicious things that I'd ever seen in my life. What the media had to say, they might have had biases before, but in that social media era, that was like the first real. Everybody has a social media page now. Everybody has Instagram and Twitter now. Even 2012, it was there, but it wasn't as much as 2016. You have these people, and they're not doing the old school journalism or the pre-social media journalism, to where they kind of had to temper their language a little bit. They can, take some kind of drug and go on their social media page and just froth at the mouth. We've seen this happen with these actors and things too, where they go off and lower their public opinion of them because they are impulsive and they're bitter. And I think that we saw a lot of the journalists and the media, correspondents, independent, and even legacy, falling into that line of behavior in 2016. So with that being said, even if he might be locked in with the shadow government still, I'm not sure. I'm feeling it less now. I think maybe this will be a change here in 2024. 2016, he might have been, he had ties to some old guard of the GOP. Maybe not so much this time, we'll see. But I think that overall, Mr. Trump was vindicated.
You know what? At the end of the day, he's on the side of Israel, and he was friends with Epstein and probably one of his clients. So, as fun as it is to see journalists and pollsters and celebrities get shit on and be miserable, I wish it was in support of like a genuinely great man, not just like a meme-worthy great man,
I concur. Yes,
Who's a good example of a great man?
Oh, God, man, I don't know. Yeah. Just anybody who's definitely never taken a photo with Epstein would be a good place to start.
Right.
And there's so few of them out there.
That's true. I got just the name for you, though. They said, I think he was the most popular president in history. His name was Andrew Jackson. Now, he did some things, and maybe they weren't so good, but I heard that he was the most popular.
That slave was only 13, Aggie.
Andrew Jackson, incredibly popular among the Native American community. That's all I know.
He gave him the casinos, technically, like in a roundabout way. He made him rich.
They
gave him a lot of blankets. That's all I know.
Which led to
getting warm
in hell, where they burned and they belong there. Any final thoughts on this film that I gave 1 star on Letterboxd?
I think that I don't want to watch a Dinesh D'Souza movie ever again.
Well, too bad that
especially if he
Aggie's picking one for his victory lap. What are we watching? Trump card?
Did I see Trump card? I don't think I did. I think I've.
That might have been
only
me and
seen 2 of his
Asperger.
movies. Yeah, I think so. I think it's funny that he claims that Trump is a family man when it's clear that he hates his sons.
He loves
So much.
Barron.
Maybe he likes Barron, although Barron strikes me as incredibly autistic.
He's 6'9". You know, he's got a lot going on. He's going to be president one day.
Have we seen them like interact all that much?
Barron was there at the victory speech last night, and he was the tallest person on the entire stage. Like, he towered above everybody.
He's like a cousin Greg type. He's so fucking tall.
Tall and awkward.
Yeah.
I remember Trump said Barron loves playing war games on his computer, and then somehow it was revealed that Barron was playing Clash of Clans on his phone.
Yeah, that
game.
lines up.
If you're gonna have that Trump money, you better be playing Clash of Clans. You can buy a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, buy all the dragons.
Who is this Laura Trump video or person that they're talking about?
Is that his granddaughter?
Is it his Wow.
It might
I thought
be.
it was his daughter-in-law.
She has this plastic face that I
Oh, the one in the
can't
movie?
stand looking at. Yeah, the one in the movie.
Yeah, in-law, yeah.
Oh, it's an in-law.
I think his son married her. One of them.
Jesus Christ. They really got some pretty non-biased figures to interview about Trump.
Oh, yeah, they interviewed his personal lawyer who assured Dinesh that Trump's a great man. Like the one person you pay to defend you no matter what. Let's interview her.
Yeah.
So overall, Aggie, 4 out of 5. Big recommend.
I mean, I think I've said this for each Trump movie that we've reviewed. Well, not all. Actually, it's funny that I thought The Apprentice was maybe had a little more going for it, but all the pro-Trump movies, perchance, they all just seem to have a bit of a stale element to them that it makes it kind of difficult, even if you agree with it. It isn't inspired writing, but you know what? Educational, I'll say that much. I mean, at least maybe I'd give it even a 1.5 for the educational quality, but you could get this from probably any Dinesh D'Souza film. It's just, if you want some political education about a man going up against some crooked people, there you go. But like I said,
oh yeah, I forgot the main metaphor of the movie is like a lone cowboy that rolls into town and settles all of the like villains.
He drains the swamp.
Drains the swamp,
Exposes
and then
the rot.
He leaves. He sidles off out of town, and
hey, maybe in 4 years he will. Rich, we don't know. We don't know that he's going to stay in office forever. You can't prove that.
He's going to just dismantle the entire United States. He's going to be there for like years. Listen, folks, my job is done. I've made
some assembly required.
They never thought we could make America great again within 1 year. We did it. And to be honest, I'm going to go play Clash of Clans with Baron. It's a pretty fun game. And I can buy everything I want, which I really like. I like to buy things. So, yeah, I'm just going to walk off now. And J.D. Vance, take it away.
Rich, what are there? 3 liberal Supreme Court justices left?
There's Sotomayor. There's the new one.
Okay. Like
Ketanji
two
Brown
women?
Jackson.
Yeah. How old are these women? Like, is Trump going to have any
Ketanji
chance
Brown
to replace
Jackson
them?
is like somewhat young. So
okay.
She's not going anytime soon, but I could definitely see Sotomayor.
Is there anything?
She's going to cling to the role. Like, there's no way that I would look quicker to like Clarence Thomas. Retiring.
Is there anything stopping Biden in the next 2 months from expanding the court and just forcing 4 new people in there? Like it's been done before.
Yeah, he should. I mean,
like if
Trump's just gonna
Republicans have the entire Congress and the president, like they just want literally every single thing. Democrats have 2 months of power left. How are they not panicking and like pulling out all the stops to do things? Like I feel like they just don't care. It's like they don't believe their own hype. Like they call this guy the next Hitler, but they're not pulling out the stops to stop him.
This is their favorite position, is
To be losing and beg for money?
ruthlessly fucked. Yeah, begging their help.
Have you
and
gotten
not
any
being-
campaign emails asking for donations in the last 12 hours, Rich, from Democrats?
Today, just to give you a look inside the Democratic system, I got a text message. Hi, I'm a volunteer with Reproductive Freedom for All. I know you've been getting all the texts this week. Honestly, same. But I wanted to check in one last time because it's the big day. Have you voted yet? Reply stop to quit. That was yesterday around 9:30.
Okay.
I said voting later today for sure. And then today, November 6th, somebody said, amazing. Can I count on you to remind 5 friends to vote too? I'll
What?
send you a free gift if you do.
The fuck? Is this AI replying to you?
The day after the election.
Yeah, what the hell?
They're like, can you get 5 of your friends to vote? And I replied, too late now.
How much money are they making off of just texting people with bots begging for money all day, every day? And like the bot isn't even reading what you're saying back or looking at the date?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's pretty bad.
How much have you donated to the DNC, Aggie?
Well, I have done 2 political donations at all in my life. First, I believe, was the year 2006. They called me on my phone, or my parents' phone. I'd been working my first job, and they said that they needed money to cure cancer, which maybe is not political, but I mailed them a check from my parents' account after I gave them $20. But anyways, I also bought 1 MAGA hat during Trump's presidency because there was a man in Croatia who followed me, and apparently he was not able to buy it because it was considered a political donation. It was like when you bought it, you were actually donating and getting a free hat. That's the only way you could get it. So he was not able to because it would have been considered like foreign election interference. So I had to do that and then mail him the hat to Croatia. So that shout out to that guy. But otherwise, I literally have like I don't have door-to-door salesmen now because I have a no soliciting sign bolted in front of my door. But over the years, they come to my house and I'll literally just like stare at them through like the hole in the door and just tell them to leave. I'm not much for donating, but shout out to all the people that donate to me though.
It's greatly appreciated, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Greatly appreciated.
I wouldn't be drinking this Diet Coke right now without it.
How much flack am I gonna say? You know what? This is revenge for what you did to Bernie in 2016 and 2020. Get fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to say?
I think that's pretty fair.
They know what they did. They haven't had a fair primary since 2008. Fuck off.
The Democratic machine, led by the wicked Obamas, has repeatedly overthrown the will of the people to get his friend Joe Biden.
If Michelle Obama had ran instead of Kamala, I think we'd be seeing a very different result right now, but it is what it is.
It's sad that is true. Like, like the name recognition would be better than like political experience.
Mm-hmm.
Obama releases his favorite rap playlist every year, and he always has the hottest bangers. I think that would have more pull to draw votes than anything that Kamala has ever said.
Well, no, because Kamala got all the black vote this time. We need to trick the Latinos. Yeah. So, oh my God, I will vote for Obama.
For Obama.
So that's the way. That's how they got to win in 2028. Get Michelle Obama singing some Mexican song.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it for this Izakino
awesome.
Election Day special, boys? Anything you want to plug?
It's gotta be. I'm no longer on X the Everything app.
Whoa, no! You quit for real?
I fucking hate Elon Musk so much. And I just know that app is going to get much worse.
So how do you plan on watching episode 3 of New Norm if you're not on X?
I'm sure someone will camera it for me.
Okay. You gotta watch it. So he's like filming his laptop screen and he posts it on the website?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Honestly, that's the best way to watch the new one. So you can find me on Letterboxd. at Revan1138 on there. That will be the only way, other than YouTube comments, I guess, to get in touch with me.
And Everett, have you not slept all night? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god! Just like from stress, or just like you love reading,
Honestly,
doom scrolling?
I was like in the dark completely for about 3 hours, but I could not sleep. So, yeah.
Probably many such cases. I think that the double tap of daylight savings time and now this, I'm surprised there's not a lot of accidents right now. Maybe there is. I've been inside all day.
Could be. It was 82 degrees. We are losing our seasons completely.
Aggie, anything you want to plug?
Yep, make sure to go to rumble.com/c/Aggie White. The 11-hour election stream archive is still there. They're saying we had like 300 live viewers, which was like a peak for me. So, you know what they're saying? It's one of the best streams ever that I've ever done. And I would have to agree. I think I became maybe erratically manic. Maybe that's it. Like it was so good and so high energy that I literally, like, I was laying in bed trying to sleep, and I had such a rush of like adrenaline or something. Maybe it's all the Diet Coke I was drinking, which is why I just belched. Maybe too much caffeine, but my brain and heart were like feeling like I was on a roller coaster, like a high octane roller coaster. I was just laying in bed, just sweating, and my heart was racing. So I don't know what exactly it might have been, but thankfully I did DoorDash a breakfast skillet from Perkins, so I had something in my stomach.
So only me and Joe Biden slept well last night.
Mm-hmm. Did you just completely tune it all out? You were just like...
I stayed up till 1 a.m. watching it, and Brian Williams said that Trump won, and I fell asleep. You know?
Yeah.
It is what it is. I was going to go visit Aggie, but I was like, am I really going to get dressed to go across town? I don't know.
Aggie, what if Obama included one of your songs on his playlist?
Well, I would just say I've... just to see if I could, I have made... like mainstream-esque, by-the-numbers, formulaic music. And I think maybe, you know what, if I release something under a different name, I thought about doing this before, like creating like a secret identity. I think my, this whole black pill guy thing, maybe might deter him from that. But if I create like an alter ego, like how MF Doom he was in that one rap group at first, then he made MF Doom and like hid his identity. Maybe if I did that, maybe I could get there sometime. But you know what? To be honest, it would be more likely to get me to vote for him than anybody else because...
To vote for Obama?
Yeah, I mean, listen, shout out to Trump and shout out to whoever, but I'm very self-serving. I only want to vote for whoever's going to specifically enrich my life only, and I don't care about anybody else, so... If Obama would, give me some kind of leg up.
If he was running for a third term, just like the guy in Get Out, you would have voted for him for a third term.
One of my favorite recording artists, Egg White.
Hey, these two have to go to bed, so I'm going to end the show here. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.